bad hombres here, and we're going to get them out.
Heck yes. So what do we do? Well, my next guest, a Texan, of course, is pushing for a law that would punish countries that do not take back their criminal aliens. Amen. Joining me now from Texas's 36th Congressional District, Representative Brian Babin. Representative Babin, thanks so much for being with me tonight.
Great to be with you, Tommy. I've seen you on Fox. I've seen you on TheBlaze. It's great to be with you this time, just between you and me. Looking forward to it.
I'm excited about it as well because I came across an article talking about this very thing, and I said I have to get this person on my show because it's an advocate for something that the everyday American, the Trump supporter, those that value a secure border and national security are all behind. So I wonder, Representative, how could anyone be opposed to something like this?
You know, that's a mystery to me, Tommy. It's a no-brainer. H.R. 82, which is the Criminal Alien Deportation Bill of 2017, is basically a reintroduction of a bill that we dropped last session. And we have a lot of co-sponsors on it. It never got to the floor of the House. But in light of the fact that we have seen the release of over 86,000 criminal aliens by this administration, and thousands of them not being deported back to their native countries after they've robbed, raped, and murdered American citizens, it is a no-brainer that this bill needs to be brought to the floor, because I really believe that once it gets through the House and the Senate, this president, this incoming president, will definitely sign this bill.
Oh, I have full faith that he will do just that, because we know that immigration, for some, was a single-issue voting topic that they voted on because they did believe that Donald Trump would secure our border. He really ran on the notion of building that wall, but also making sure that the United States of America is safe for Americans first and foremost. So I want to get into this a little bit because we haven't heard, as we should, the mainstream media should be covering the number of illegal aliens that have become criminals, that were criminals, that are criminals, that are still living in our midst. And then they do carry out these acts. We know that Kate Steinle was one that was brought to national prominence. But there's incidents like this happening every day. But the mainstream media seems to be rather quiet on it.
They are. You know, we hear about the other side of the issue, about the political correct reasons why we need to protect people who come in illegally in this country, and we forget about the American citizens whose lives are being destroyed. Just today, Tommy, I met with the family of a victim of a criminal alien. It is a heart-wrenching thing to be able to sit there, right there, face-to-face, and talk with the families who have been impacted by this just monstrous problem that we have of leaving thousands of criminals roaming the streets who shouldn't be here to begin with, and not be able to deport them. And what my bill is going to do several things. Number one, it's going to have the Department of Homeland Security give quarterly reports on countries who refuse to take their criminal aliens back, refuse to repatriate them. And on these quarterly reports, if they're on them, then the federal government will actually stop their foreign aid. We can stop their visa programs, and it will also give standing in federal court for the victims of these criminals and the families of these victims to sue in federal court to force the deportation of these bad hombres.
Because without this, what happens, and for those that aren't familiar and they're not political junkies, what happens now is they can only be detained for a certain number of days if their home country will not take them back, and then they're released. And then time and time again, what do? They go and commit horrible, heinous acts, and they're released back into the shadows of our society, and enough is enough.
I could not agree more. I'll give you an example. Casey Chadwick, a 25-year-old young lady from Connecticut. There was a man by the name of Jean-Jacques. He was a Haitian illegal immigrant. He had served time in our prison system for attempted murder. Haiti refused to take him back when he was released from prison. He could not be kept in, like you said, they could not detain him for over a certain period of time. So he was released right back out on the street, along with thousands and thousands of his fellow criminal aliens. And it wasn't more than just several months passed by before he murdered Casey Chadwick, a beautiful young lady who would be alive today had the State Department done what they were supposed to do. Well, this law H.R. 82, this piece of legislation, if it becomes law, will enable our federal government to not be dependent upon the Secretary of State. We can make the government do what they're supposed to do. As usual, we've seen this Obama administration just ignore laws they didn't like, make up laws that were not there, and they couldn't get them through the Congress. And so it will make Americans safe once again. And when you look at the problem as a whole, this goes right hand in hand with sanctuary cities, with unsecured borders. And when we as elected officials swear our oath of office, our first duty is to make sure that our constituents and our citizens are safe and secure, and the national security is being kept in 100% manner.
Well, not only that, but Americans should come first in our own country, and it is not racist, bigoted, or intolerant to say such. But what a stark difference from something like what you're doing and also what Trump has been saying and what he's been declaring about illegals and illegal immigration and this amnesty and executive orders put in place by President Obama. What a stark difference, because what your bill is saying is it's saying the cattle call is over, whereas during the Obama administration, those in Central and South America, they believed that if they came over to this country, they would be welcome, they would be given perks, because guess what? They were. And it's about dang time we reverse that. Nothing frustrates me more than seeing American-born children that are paying out-of-state tuition, and they've got illegals in their classrooms on the DREAM Act, getting in-state tuition and other perks and benefits and being glorified for their parents' illegal activity or their illegal activity. Enough is enough. And it's about time that we come out as Americans and say, this is not racist or intolerant. This is us putting Americans first. But, you know, I wonder, we're looking at the first 100 days, Representative, and a lot of things that Trump needs to get done. What is your hope? The first issue that he's going to tackle, what is your hope that will be?
Well, we've already started it. We repealed Obamacare, which I have campaigned on for years, which many of my colleagues have campaigned on for a full 6.5, almost 7 years since Obamacare has been enacted. And I would add, enacted, pushed down our throats without one single Republican vote to help it. It's a disastrous law. We've already started the ball rolling. And I feel certain that when President-elect Trump takes office this Friday, that he will move very, very rapidly to completely dismantle this bad law. And we will have a replacement. And I keep hearing Democrats say, oh, you Republicans don't have a replacement. That's absolutely false. I am a healthcare practitioner. I practiced in rural East Texas dentistry for 36 years. And so I can tell you there are replacements, and they are excellent replacements. They will be patient and doctor-centered. They will give our American citizens a choice where they don't have it now. We have seen escalating premiums, escalating deductibles, where you're essentially, a young family is essentially paying a mortgage payment and not able to use their insurance because it's so high of a deductible. And so I can't wait to have the American people have a choice finally, and get the American healthcare industry back to where it should be, the best, the greatest in the world.
And being competitive as well. Now, I can't think of a single instance where the government has gotten itself involved in what is supposed to be the private sector, and it has gone well. I mean, innovation does not come from government. We know that for dang sure. But I'm really excited to see what President Trump is going to do, but also on this immigration and repealing some of these executive orders, tossing them out the window. I think that that's first and foremost as well. We know that he's going to do that very quickly. But, you know, this amnesty, I mean, this is going to be a long-fought battle. This is going to be difficult. This is going to be conversations that need to be had to dismantle some of the mess that Obama has created. But I'm confident that we are in the best position we've ever been in to make that a reality. And I'm very thankful that you're starting to chip away at it with this bill in particular.
There's no question about that. I think the American people dodged a huge bullet on Election Day. It was nothing short of a revolution at the ballot box. America is tired of political correctness, of seeing efficiency and common sense thrown out the window in the name of diversity and the name of political correctness. We're ready to get back to the nuts and bolts of being the greatest nation on earth. And, I'm looking forward to this presidency coming up. And I'm very proud and very excited to be sitting there when Donald Trump takes the oath of office, and looking forward to working very closely with him and seeing some of this legislation finally signed into law where we have not seen that happen over the last 8 years, Tommy.
It's time to put America first. Thank you for everything that you're doing, and thanks for being with me tonight. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you, Tommy. God bless.
Thank you so much. Up next, what better way to celebrate